Hi, is this thing on? Hi, I'm Ben doing math for WLCSD News, and today we're talking about statistical questions. We're going to explore what are statistical questions, and we're going to provide you with some examples. With me, I have Stati McStatterson. Stati McStatterson is a world-renowned expert on statistical questions. Stati, thank you for joining us. Can you please explain to our viewers what is a statistical question? Oh, hello there. Statistical questions are questions that you can expect to get a wide variety of answers. Oh, that's great. Can you provide us with a couple specific examples? Sure. When you're talking about statistical questions, not everyone is going to have the same answer. Yeah, sure, it's true. They could have the same answer, but with statistical questions, the answers could vary. For example, what's your favorite candy? Or how many hours of sleep did you get last night? Or even, how many books did you read last year? See, I read 37 books, and you read probably 0. That is absolutely true. And here to talk about non-statistical questions, this is Factual McFatterson. Factual, can you please tell us a little something about non-statistical questions? Non-statistical questions have the same answer. It doesn't matter who you ask. We're talking facts. 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 Oh, that's great. How about some specific examples? Yeah, straight facts. Like, how many days are there in a year? Like, how many moons orbit the Earth? Or like, how many inches in a foot? See, there's 12 inches in a foot. Facts. All right. It's time to ask our first statistical question. Today's question is, how many hours of video games do you play per week? Now, of course, we can't ask all of you. In fact, we can't ask most of you. With statistical questions, you ask a small amount of people, you get different answers, and that gives you some idea about what the answer to the general population will be. Now, today's question, how many hours of video games do you play per week? Now, as I said, we can't ask everyone. We're just gonna ask a select few and, all right, you, young lady, how many hours of video games do you play per week?
2.
And thank you for that. You, sir, with your hand up, how many hours do you play? 3. Okay, thank you. Young lady, how about you?
8.
Okay, you, sir. Yeah, you up there with the microphone. How many hours of video games do you play per week?
1. 1 extraordinary hour. 1.
Thanks. Okay, you with the headband.
Let's see. How about I don't play? I have so many better things to do.
I want to thank you all for participating. As you can see, we asked one question, but we got different answers from each person. That makes that a statistical question. I am Ben doing math for WLCSD News. Now, let's see if you can give it a try. So let's look over a couple of statistical question reminders. First, when you're talking about statistical questions, there is no exact answer. The example that I gave during the video was, how many hours of video games did you play each week? Each person had a different response. That's your first clue to it being a statistical question. When you ask a statistical question, you should expect a wide variety of answers. If you ask different people, expect different answers. Mainly, statistical questions are used to collect data. Now, let's look at non-statistical questions. First, they do have exact answers. The example I gave were, how many inches in a foot? It's always going to be 12, no matter who you ask. With these, if you ask different people, you should expect to get the same answer. And it's driven by facts. Now, let's play a little game called statistical or non-statistical. I'm going to give you a scenario, and what you should do is think, is this a statistical question or is it non-statistical? Our first one says, a political group asked voters waiting in line to vote, who are the two major candidates running for president this year? Okay, some of you probably know the answer right away. Fantastic. But when you see a question, ask yourself, if I ask different people, am I going to get different answers? In this case, who are the two major candidates running for president this year? You're going to get the same answer no matter who you ask. Therefore, you guessed it, it's a non-statistical question. Let's take a look at another one. The Journalism Club surveyed students in the library and asked, about how much time do you spend reading each day? Okay, some of you know it right away. Fantastic. Think to yourself, if you ask different people, are you going to get different answers? Well, yes, you are. That makes it a statistical question. One more, let's try. To decide if a new movie should be shown on Friday, a movie theater invited 50 people to view the movie and answer the question, did you enjoy the movie? All right, so picture it. You get 50 people getting asked, did you enjoy the movie? Most of the time, you're going to get different answers. And when you get different answers, you guessed it, that is a statistical question. Now it's time for practice. For the rest of the week, you're going to be looking at statistical versus non-statistical questions. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out to your teacher.